Hello everyone and welcome to this inaugural episode / test playthrough of Batman the Animated Series Shadow of the Bat. You may have seen the unboxing I did of this a few days ago or maybe a week ago at this point, depending on when I'm able to fit this into the schedule. But we're going to do a little test playthrough. Don't have time to paint the miniatures at the moment, so the game comes with 2 tutorial missions in the Shadow of the Bat episode 1 to 5 booklet. The first 2 episodes, they're just one shot, one map, one objective, and then it splits into like usually 3-part stories where things change as you progress. But these first 2 are just tutorials to get you used to the game systems, and I think it might be a good way to gauge interest as well. Now I should first of all definitely state that this is not a how to play. This is a learning to play as we go. There will be mistakes, there will be oversights, there will be things forgotten, I'm sure, but we'll try to the best of my abilities to get it right. Also, I think the camera is a little bit of a Batman angle right now, isn't it? It's a little squint. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better now, I think. So we are going to try and go through it as best we can, as correct as we can, for this one and potentially the other tutorial mission that exists in the episode booklet. And then if those do well enough, and if enough people want to see more, I'll take the time to paint up the miniatures, because the way the game works, it's small rooms, as we'll talk more about when we go over the mission specifics. It's usually like 2 rooms, maybe 3, but they're very densely packed, so a lot of hired goons have to be painted before this will even be playable, in terms of like everything being painted. So that's why I'm putting off doing that right now, because there's other things that have taken priority. But we can quickly look at the mission. If we just flip page here, it's a reference to the first proper episode of the animated series, On Leather Wings, episode 1. And there's some text here which I'll just read to you. Batman is labelled as the culprit in a series of aerial attacks on pharmaceutical companies, but the Caped Crusader's own investigations lead him to Dr. Kirk Langstrom, whose experiments in cross-species have turned him into the fearsome Man-Bat. And if we turn the page here, a lot of rules and just reminders of rules to help you, but the gist of it is, we've got to take out these hired goons in the leftmost room, examine 2 question marks to find the key to the door here. The door will then open, and that lets my team fight Man-Bat. And we win if he is taken down, and the lose condition is if any hero gets knocked out in cooperative mode. So with that, we'll talk about the specifics of our team, and then go over how the game is played. So I turned off one of my studio lights to stop the card being so reflective, because this is just some of that card that reflects light super badly. So hopefully this is still perfectly viewable. You pick a team of 4. I've chosen to include some of the additional stretch goal characters as opposed to what the book suggests. So I am bringing Batman, Nightwing, Tim Drake, Robin, and Batgirl. These 2 are the base box. These 2 are stretch goal additional characters. So at the start of each turn, I'll show you this angle because you have to roll 3 activation dice for each person. They are themed. I erroneously said during the unboxing they're all identical. They are not. There's slight differences for most of them, like I believe the only difference between Batman, Batgirl and Nightwing is 1 single symbol. Tim Drake's are quite different, and they reflect how the character is meant to be played. So at the start of a turn, you would roll these, and these denote the type of actions you can do on your turn. The bat symbols are wild cards. So for instance, Batman's role here would be, he can block extra, as +1 to his block stat for the turn. He can do a move action, and he can do a double attack action. And the other way, like, you don't just get 3 actions in a turn, you share your left and right symbols with the characters to your left and right. So he would share that double hit to Nightwing, he would share the block, we'll say down to Robin I guess, so it kind of goes around this way. And the other characters do that as well. The other thing to note is these symbols are insight. Different characters have lots of them. Batgirl has a ton of them, she has 5. Batman has 4, Nightwing has 3, Robin has 2. They're sometimes used to activate skills and other stuff. They can do rerolls as well, I believe. The other thing to note, characters have a skill stat. Batman's is 4 for instance, Batgirl's is 2. Nightwing's is 3 and Robin's is 2. That denotes how many skill cards they can bring, and skill cards can either be passives that are always active or cards with a cost that you can activate 1 per turn. But if characters have a utility belt written under their name, sorry for front loading this with so much incidentally, but it has to be done. You can choose not to take 1 skill card and instead take 4 gadgets. So both Batman and Nightwing have given up one of their potential skill cards to take exactly the same gear each. A grapple gun, smoke bombs, throwing blades and batarangs, which you can use in a fight. So I think the last thing to go over is the specific upgrades I've bought for each character, and then we can actually look at the game board and how it plays. So for Batman, he has one spendable upgrade called I Am the Knight. It scares everybody around him and henchmen can't enter squares adjacent to him. He has Judo Throw, which is also a buyable skill. It costs 1 insight to use in his turn. You chuck a henchman, and you swap places with them and stun them, which means they can't do an activation. And then he has the permanent upgrade, Driven by the Past, which he can use at any time he wants, but once he uses it, that X means it discards the card, but it heals him and he gains focus as well. So it's reminding him of why he's doing this, and again, this is his gear here. Batgirl, she has a spendable spring forward. She has to spend 2 movement actions in order to spring forward 4, and then she gets a special bonus melee attack. And then she has the permanent upgrade Birds of Prey. Each time Batgirl knocks down or KOs an enemy, she regains life equal to the number of hits rolled on 1 battle die. A battle die is none of these dice, we'll show you them once we're looking at the board. Over here, Nightwing just has 2 permanent upgrades, he doesn't have any spendables. Master Acrobat, so he ignores rough terrain, difficult terrain, elevated terrain, etc. He ignores penalties that exist for those tile types. And he has Quick Wit. When defending, Nightwing counts double hits on the dice as blocks, as if they were blocks. Tim Drake has Trained by Batman, right here. When making a melee strike, Robin counts double hits as triple hits, which is really good. And he also has Practice Makes Perfect, because usually the Robins in this game are focused on ranged combat, like throwing batarangs. +1 battle die when making a ranged attack. In addition, it does not weaken until the first 4 spaces. Normally in this game, ranged attacks of any type, guns, batarangs, whatever, they weaken after 2 squares away from where you're throwing. So I think that covers everything. So we have the layout of the game board here. It's spread across a kind of like office building and then the balcony outside where Nightwing, Man-Bat is waiting for us to be fought. Enemy characters either have to have line of sight of an enemy or an enemy who can see one of your characters. So this door is locked, so Man-Bat is just going to unactivate every time until we get through that door. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 gun henchmen who are called hired guns. This is what one of their stat cards look like, and when you're playing against the AI, because you can play this where a human is controlling the villains, they always just they don't roll dice, they just always do the damage on their damage stat, they always do their block on the block stat, and that's their health, and then special rules, and then how their AI acts on the bottom there as well. So there's them, and then there's enforcers who are just like punching guys, and there's 1, 2, 4 of them. They're a little bit tankier, and they also get an extra turn when the hired guns activate. That's their special thing. And you decide who's going by the initiative deck, which has already been shuffled and is at the very top left of your screen. This is the initiative deck. You flip a card, that's who gets to go. You flip another card, etc, etc. That's how a turn goes. So I think that about covers absolutely everything. We can maybe finally start playing the game. Again, I apologise for front loading the thing with so much explanation, but it is a little bit of a complicated thing to explain. Hopefully in actually playing not so much. So we will begin turn 1, and I guess we should just flip the initiative card to see who's going, because then I can talk about how AI activate. So let's do that. Let's see who's going first in this game. It will actually be Batgirl. Okay, well in that case we have to go to how a player turn works. So let's get on with it. Battle round 1. So to start a player turn, we have to come back down here to see what everyone's able to do. Although I did forget to show off what the basic battle dice look like. The kind of like Batman holding his cape up as a block, and then you've got hit, double hit, and that's it. I believe there's no blanks on this. So those are the ones that get rolled for combat, but when you're playing against the AI, again, the AI don't roll defense or attack, they do set amounts. So we need to roll to see what everyone is getting, and then we can move the dice. So Batman's got a double ranged hit, he's got a melee attack and a +1 block for the turn, and he has a wild card. That also lets you heal at the start of turns if you get a wild card. You roll one of those battle dice and heal equal to the number of hits, and I believe you also get 1 insight back, assuming you haven't got your full insight. Oh, and then you change it to whatever you want. I'm going to change it to a foot, so that he has a movement icon. And then we'll roll Nightwings real quick. He's got 3 movement. Okay, well he is fast. So he's got 3 movement to play with. And then Robin. He has 2 wild cards and a move. So I'm going to change one of those to a double fist. I'm going to change the other one to a double fist. I'm going to put them on either side, because that means he's going to share the double fists around. And then Batgirl, and she's important. She's got too many moves. Okay, a move, and a wild card. I'm going to change her wild card to a punch as well, I guess, and we'll share that with Batman. So then, before we actually go back to the board, you share the symbol on your right. So for instance, Batman is sharing a move with Nightwing. Nightwing is sharing a move with Batgirl. Batgirl is sharing a move. Too many moves. I actually might not have enough symbols. With Robin. Robin is sharing double punches with Batman, who in return is sharing double close combat. Double ranged with Robin. Batgirl is sharing double punches with Nightwing, and Robin is giving her double punches as well. So that is all their actions they get to spend. Shields just mean +1 to their defense stat for the turn, assuming they don't spend it in some other way. We're finally ready to move someone. So this is the angle I'm going to use when we're not looking at what people have to spend for the turn. Just take my word for it that I'm spending the symbols you saw me roll. In showing them, I'm not cheating. So that means we can just focus on the board during a turn. Batman's model, Batgirl, Nightwing, Robin at the back. We have a bunch of hired goons. We don't know who's activating next. And we have some symbols to play with. Now she could spend 2 for that spring forward attack. And I think she's going to. For every 1 move symbol Batgirl spends, she gets to move 4. So she'll spend the free 1 she got from Nightwing. And go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she'll spend her other 2 that she had for the turn to initiate the card I showed you, which we can hopefully show there again. She has to spend 2 movements to do it. Incidentally, there are also just generic special actions you can spend 2 moves on. The most common one you'll see probably as we go forward is a leap, which is how you get out of combat without taking a debuff and a free hit. Or maybe, I don't remember if there's a free hit, but it makes it harder to get away how surrounded you are unless you do a leap, which costs 2 movement. Anyway, Batgirl leaps up to 4 spaces in a straight line and then makes an attack +2 against her target. So she's going to go whoop into him. Her normal attack is just a single die, but she gets +2. And Enforcers have a flat 2 defense. So she rolled 3 and did 1 to him. Now she could technically spend an insight to reroll that. And she has more than enough. Yeah, I'll spend 1 insight and reroll. I don't think it's a full reroll. I think you get to choose to either full reroll or just reroll a selection. So that became 4. He has defensive 2. He took 2 damage. He has 3 health left. And there is little hearts. Well, I say little. They're honestly a little bit too large. She's not done though, because she still has 2 sets of 2 fists. So she shall initiate a melee strike. For every 1 fist you spend, you get your base amount of dice, which again, as just covered for her, is 1. But because she spent a double symbol, she gets 2 extra thrown in again. Now, she has a double symbol left. I can either save that and initiate another attack afterwards, or I can put them into this attack to do 1 big attack. And I'm going to do that because I want to try and take out this thug in 1 turn. So that's her last symbol. She's totally spent, she's got no defense, but she's rolling 5 dice. So, 1, 2, 3, and 2 blocks, so she'd only be doing 1 damage, so again I'm going to spend insight. I really hope you're allowed to spend more than 1 in a turn. That's more like it. So she did 3, she did 6, she did 4, that takes him to 6 damage in total because she's done 4 and he's got 2 on him. 5 health. In the mode where the AI is controlling the enemies, if you knock someone out, supervillain or hired goon, you get them to 0 health, they're just gone. That is her turn though, so that means we need to draw the next initiative card and see who's going. It's going to be the hired guns. Alright, give me a second to see how they act. Alright, was also just double checking whether I did that right. I've been calling it insight, the game's term for it is focus. Apologies if I keep interchanging that, but page 24, you can indeed reroll 1 or all of the dice just whenever you want to spend a focus. The only stipulation is you can't reroll a reroll, which is common sense in most miniature games. So when hired guns activate, the enforcers actually activate first because of their ready for action rule, which is they receive 1 action and activate when other henchman initiative card is drawn, i.e. it's drawn and then they go, and then the hired guns go, but they only get 1 action. Normally they get 2, which would probably be like a move and attack, but they'll just move there. How much do they move? They move 3. Moving onto a table would cost 2, so that would be like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. and then the hired guns activate. Incidentally, the AI for the Enforcer is they want to go punch whoever has the least HP. If it's a draw, they just go towards the nearest target. Hired guns, you work out the AI beyond because of the bottom there. They want to try and be at range 4, which is what I think that means, and they want to try and hit the person with the most health. The person with the most health here, I believe, is Batman. He's got 13. Yep, second is Nightwing. So they want to shoot Batman. This table in the middle, because it's got a yellow border, does not block line of sight unless you do a cover action, and that's one of the actions you can do by spending 2 movement. So they want to try and be within 4 of Batman. So if he moves there, you can shoot through enemies. Allies, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's optimal range, so he'll fire on him. Let's see. 1, 2, how far do they move? 3. So you can only move there. If you can't fight their optimal target, they will try and shoot someone else they can get into optimal range. If they can't do that either, they will just shoot out of optimal range at their primary target. So he can't reach her actually, or him. So she'll go after Batgirl, heal, which would be 1, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's optimal range. 1, 2, 3. He would move back there. So those 2 are going to shoot at Batgirl, and then 1 is shooting at Batman. They do set damage. So, and they also have a special rule called Under Fire. If the hired gun makes 2 attack actions on their turn against a single enemy, that figure is now under fire. But it says a hired gun, so it has to be the same miniature firing twice. So even though 2 of them are going to be firing at Batgirl, that shouldn't trigger the under fire. If a model comes under fire like that, they can't move towards their targets. They have to either back off, like smoke bomb, or get help from another teammate. If they don't do that and they're still stuck by the end of the turn, they just die, which would instantly fail the scenario. It's a little rough in that regard. So anyway, you do get to roll defense dice equal to your defense. Batman is normally defense 3, but he goes up to 4 because he has a shield on one of his dice. And he is blocking 2 damage from this gentleman shooting right at him. And he blocked it. He blocked all of it. He got 2 blocks. Batgirl is rolling 3 defense with nothing extra thrown in at all against the first shot of 2 damage. I just realised you can't quite see that. The 2 damage went through, so she's taken 2, and then she took another 1. So in total she took 3. So I'm just going to put this on her card so we don't clutter up the board too much, but she's taken 3 of her 11 damage. And that is the hired guns. Oh wait, it's not, sorry, I totally forgot that he's right there. Let's see, he would want to get into optimal range for Batman. So that would be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that would get him into optimal range for Batman. So Batman's rolling defense dice again. And he blocked 1 and took 1. So 1 damage on Batman and 3 on Batgirl. Incidentally, Batman has a special rule for a cooperative mode where the villain's supposed to get an extra turn. Because Man-Bat can't do anything until we're out there, I'm just going to ignore it. So that's the hired goons gone. Keep in mind the enforcers can still go again. And we'll draw the next initiative card. Nightwing. Okay, let me think about what I want to do with him. Alright, so Nightwing has basically nothing but a bunch of movement. He has 4 movement and 1 double hit, which is not great to work with. He isn't slowed by terrain either, so we'll spend 1 movement and he gets to move 4. So I think he's going to go 1, 2 and just go right up onto this table to try and deal with this hired gun that just jumped up there. And he'll initiate an attack. His normal attack is sadly just 1 die, but he's spending a double, so he's rolling 3. So that's not great though. Let's see what we can do to him. Well, we only did 1 hit and they automatically blocked 2, so he did no damage, unfortunately. What else can he do? At best he could use a gadget, and sadly his gadgets are buffs for ranged attacks he can't currently do. He could throw down smoke. He could do that. Smoke gets thrown. Let's see, 4 spaces get covered in smoke that are within 3 of him. Yeah, let's do that. We'll burn his smoke bomb for the turn. You can use any number of gadgets in a turn as you want. You can only use 1 skill per turn though, as in one you buy with your skill dice rolls. So choose 4 spaces that are within 3 of you and line of sight. Place a smoke token on each. Smoke tokens are obscuring terrain that remain until the start of your next turn. Now by turn, I don't know if they mean my next character activation or if they mean the next round. But either way, I have smoke templates right here. So within 3 of him, so 1, 2, 3 would be there. there, there. I'm trying to cut off the guns in case they activate before me next round. And I guess there, all those are 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep, they're all within. That's all he's doing because of the dice he had available. Let's see who's activating next. Man-Bat, we skipped that. He has 2 cards in this deck, I guess, to represent that he's quick. So we'll just draw again. It is going to be Tim Drake Robin. Alright, I've moved this along a little bit because everyone's moving away from the door. Robin's going to spend 1 move to get 3 movement points. Actually no, he'll spend 2 because he needs more. So that gives him a total of 6 to play with. So that would be... Actually, before he does any of that, I just realised he can do a good range attack because of the Practice Makes Perfect upgrade I gave him. He'll initiate a ranged attack by spending the points he got from Batman. So normally just 1 die, the double throws in 2, and his Practice Makes Perfect throws in another 1. And it means he doesn't lose damage up to range 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's perfect. So that is a total of 4 dice, chucking a ranged attack at this hired goon right here. And that was a good hit. That was 6. Good job. 6 reduced by 2 defense means he has taken 4 damage. He has 1 health left on this hired goon right there. Again, the health icon's a little bit too big. Now he'll spend his 2 movement icons for a total of 6 movement and go 1, 2, 3, 4 up onto the table as well because they're young and impetuous. And I guess he'll try and beat up the thug that's close to death. Now he has 2 double hits left. And his double successes count as triples. I forgot about that. Oh no, it has to be in close combat though. Yeah, we'll try that. Okay, so we're just going to roll 3 dice for this because it's 1 for his base and he's spending a double symbol. And any doubles count as triples. So that's a total of 3. It comes down to 1, which is still enough. This hired goon is gone. And that means he can spend his other double, which is his last die, to do it again. And he'll do it to the hired gun right there. I don't believe there's a bonus for Nightwing being there. Now, that's a double that counts as a triple. He's going to spend 1 of his insight, focus, to reroll these 2. And I got 1 better hit. Okay. So, in total, that counts as 3, so that's 4. Comes down by 2. He did 2 damage. We'll just move this. So this hired gun has 2 health left. Sorry, 1 health left. Because they only have 3. And that is Tim's turn already done. So let's draw the next card. It is gonna be the Batman. So for Batman's turn, he's got a single move die, he's got a double range hit, a double close combat hit, and then a single close combat hit to play with. He is 1, 2, 3 squares away from the hired gun who's got 1 health left, so he would lose 1 ranged die. I think he'll counter that by using Throwing Blade to initiate a ranged attack from where he's starting his turn. It's not in focus, is it? I think it is now. Your next range attack receives +1 battle die and doesn't weaken for the first 4 spaces. So 1, I don't think you count just diagonals incidentally, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He would have to move first. Hang on. No, I think you do count diagonals. I'm pretty sure you count diagonals. Hang on. Combat strikes. Yes, the example shows diagonals. Yes, it counts. Okay. Never mind then. So he still has to use the throwing blade, but we're not losing any dice. So he's spinning a double ranged. He has 2 attack base. The double range throws in 2 more, and the throwing blade he used throws in another 1. This is overkill, I'm realizing, for an enemy with 1 hit left and 2 defense. Not if you roll like that. Never mind. That was it. Oh, also slightly out of camera. I'll have to move the camera again once back. Hang on, I can do it in veto. There we go. So that was a terrible roll, which would mean he takes no damage. So Batman's going to spend 1 focus to re-roll all the blocks. Okay, there we go. He got the hired gun, who was heavily wounded by Robin. And now he will spend his 1 movement, which gives him 3, to go 1, 2, 3. And he'll say hello to this gentleman here. Now I think I just want to hit him really, really hard. So he's going to spend... Well, he gets base 2. And then he's spending a double attack to initiate. So that's 2 more. Yeah, I'm going to spend a single. So he's getting 5 against this guy. So whatever damage he rolls minus 2 defense. That is an appalling roll. That was one success. It would have been a fantastic defense roll. He's spending another point of focus. I might be going a bit too heavy on that early. To full reroll. And it did not get much better. He did 1 damage. Not great. 1 damage to this gentleman here. I think he and the other Man-Bat card are the only ones not drawn at this point. So let's see. Enforcers, yeah, that means the last card is the other Man-Bat one, so I'll just get rid of that now, because again, he's not activating right now. The Enforcers get to activate. We can do that real quick, because there's only 2 of them left. They want to hit the person with the least HP. So he would hit Robin, and he would just hit Batgirl, I guess. Because I don't think he pulls away from combat to do it. Plus the smoke's in the way. So they each do flat 2 damage. Robin's defense dice is 3. He blocked none of it and took 3 damage. Oh, sorry, 2 damage, I mean. Good job, Robin. And then Batgirl also gets 3 defense dice. Oh wait, doesn't he count? No, it was Robin who had a thing about extra defense. She also didn't block anything and took 2 more damage. So, not great. Batgirl's got 5 damage on her. Batman's got 1. Robin's got 2. And Batgirl started at 11 health. Batman starts at 13. Robin starts at 10. We're at the end of the round. So at the end of the round, I believe the smoke disappears when I first get an activation next turn. Hopefully, that's how that works. I've got to shuffle the initiative deck, and we have to roll for what the characters can do. Alright, as stated, Battle Round 2 begins with us working out what people have. I think I forgot to give Batman an extra move from Nightwing, incidentally. Either way, he's got lots of block. Also, I forgot that he had a bonus block die that turn. He'll share the... Actually, he'll share that. There we go. So he's sharing a fist to his left and a foot to his right. Nightwing... Well, he's not damaged, sadly, and he didn't use any insight, so that's useless to him. He'll share a move to Batman, he'll share ranged to Barbara, and he'll take some fists. There we go. Robin. Move, and a throw. He'll share the throw to Batman, and then move to Barbara. I'll just, off camera, I'll put the extra symbols down just to save doing this. Ah, good, she got a bat symbol. So she heals for the number of strikes on 1 dice. She heals 1. She gets 1 insight back. So she's back up to 4. Perfect. And she'll share the fists there, and she'll wildcard this to a block that she'll share, just in case. Alright. So I'll get the extra symbols down, but let's draw from the initiative pile just to quickly see who's actually starting the turn. And it is going to be Tim Drake. Alright, Tim is ready to get this started, and he's going to start by spending the 1 fist he has to do a 2-die physical attack on the wounded Enforcer right there. Doubles count as triples. 2 doubles, they just get, 2 singles, they just get blocked. So then he has to walk away. I double checked what happens when you walk away. It's a +1 movement penalty for every enemy adjacent, normally, unless you're Nightwing. So, he only has a ranged attack left. He'll spend 2 movement, which gives him a total of 6. So, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. That's good enough. He's going to throw Batarang at the wounded henchman now. So unfortunately that's also just 2 dice, because he's only got a single. Let's see. Not good enough. He did not do enough damage. So with that, he is done. He's got +2 defense for the round, so he's defense 5 dice. And next to activate is Nightwing. So Nightwing is going to spend 1 of his movement icons to remove a question mark he is adjacent to. You have to spend any 1 non-shield icon to remove that question mark. So he searched quickly for the key and couldn't find it. He'll spend the other foot he has to move 4 and go 1, 2, 3, 4, because he was adjacent to the enemy. And he'll initiate... Oh, he should have done a ranged attack first before doing all that, actually. Before he initiated that move, he'll chuck a ranged 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. He'll chuck it at this guy because then it won't lose any dice. So that would just be his base of 1 plus 2, so it's 3. Damage minus 2. So he did 3 damage to him, that's pretty good. Smacked him upside the head with a batarang. Then he moved to where I put him. And finally he's going to do a large melee attack on one of those hired guns. He's spending 2 double hits. So it's 1 base, plus 2, plus 2. He's rolling 5 dice against them. Damage minus 2. So that's not great. He's going to spend focus to reroll these 3. Much better. So that is 7. Comes back down to 5. Hired guns have 3 health. Boom. Has a gun off the table. So that's very good. He is now done though. He has nothing else to do. So we are drawing another initiative card. Oh hey, Batgirl. So Barbara's to the top left of your screen there. She's hurting a little bit, but she's got a thug in front of her with 2 health left. She shall initiate a close combat attack. She's spending a double punch, so unfortunately that's only 3 dice and she can't buff it in any other way. Unless she... Oh, she does knock him out. That Birds of Prey will kick in to give her health back. See what happens. Not good enough. She'll spend a focus to reroll everything? No, just the 2 blocks. Accidentally knocked one of Nightwing's dice. That's more like it. She did 2 damage, which is exactly enough to take him out. So Birds of Prey, each time she knocks out an enemy, she regains life equal to the number of hits rolled on 1 battle die. 1 health. That's fine. She's back up. She's only got 3 damage on her. Took him out. She has 2 movement icons. She'll use both to move. Well, that gives her 8 in total. That's much more than is required. I guess she'll just move to here and throw a batarang because she can do a ranged attack. It's not likely to do a lot of damage, but it's okay. So again, that's 3 dice and it's damage minus 2. Nothing. Alright. Much more likely to be enemies activating now. Let's see. The Enforcers are activating, of which there is 1 left. We can actually do their turn real quick. He does want to go after the person with the lowest HP. He's in combat with Batman, so I'm going to say that he's going to try and hit Batman because it makes the most sense. I feel like house ruling that kind of thing for the AI makes the most sense. So Batman's currently rocking 5 defense against 2 damage. He blocked it all. So that's their turn done. There's only 1 of them left. Although they will get another turn when the hired gun card is drawn. But first Batman gets to go. Well, Batman doesn't have that much to play with because he's so defensive this turn. So he's spending a single punch. And that means he's getting 3 dice against an enemy who has 4 health left. If they're all doubles, he kills them. Nope. I don't think that's worth spending focus on. Nah. And we know they're going to activate again. He'll probably go after... Yeah, if Batman moves away, he'll waste one of his actions rather than punching twice. Oh, I totally forgot they have 2 actions, so he could have punched again. He should have punched again. My bad. In fact, I think I missed that at least 2 more times, so let's roll Batman's defense dice 1 more time. He's fine still, but yeah, I totally forgot because he was in base to base, he could attack twice, he didn't need to move first. Batman will spend 2 shoes to move 6. So that is 1, 2, he's still adjacent. 3, 4, and he's going to stop there so next turn he can check the other question mark and open the door. Or rather, find the key to open the door. We know it's only either Man-Bat or the hired guns left in this deck. Man-Bat doesn't activate yet. We'll cover what he does once we're actually fighting him. Hired gun, which means the final card is the Man-Bat one, so we'll just bung that in again. And the Enforcer gets to go first. He wants to go after who has the lowest HP, which right now is Batgirl. So he'll go... He moves 3, so that would be 1, 2, 3, because of those 2, and then I think he can initiate the attack. She is 3 defense dice against 2 damage. She blocked 1, so she took 1. But then the hired guns get to activate. And they want to be at range 4, shooting the person with most HP, so they'll be shooting... Batman and Nightwing have equal HP right now with Batman being hurt. So he'll pull back here. 1, 2, 3. He can't get to range 4. He's there. No, but then he can't fire because he's adjacent, I think. Oh no, he can still fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. And 1, 2, 3. He's not firing at optimal range, but he's also not losing dice. So he'll shoot at Nightwing and he'll shoot at Batman. So the one shooting at Batman, Batman's got 5 defense dice against 2 damage. He took 1. And they both had to move before firing to get into optimal range, so they're not going to be doing, not covering fire, what's it called? Under fire. Nightwing is rolling 3 defense dice against 2 damage, and he took 1. So that's his first bit of damage now as well. And that is the end of the second round, so we're going to swing back round again. So the start of round 3 of 8, I think I forgot to say there was 8 rounds, at least there is on the timer. So 2 blocks for Batman and a wild card, but he gets to potentially get a heal. He did not heal any, but he does get 1 focus back for that wild card, which is going to turn into punches. Let's share punches actually, we don't need to share defend, we're running out of henchmen to punch. Nightwing's dice. He also gets a wild card, so he doesn't heal any either, but he gets 1 insight back. Let's put the double ranged over there to give to Barbara. He'll keep the move, and the wild card that goes to Batman will be more punches. How about that? And then Barbara, she got a wild card. Does she heal? She heals 1. Back up to 3 damage on her again. Perfect. She'll keep the block for herself. She'll share the move to Nightwing, and the wild card will become punches that she'll share to Robin. And then Robin's cards, a block he'll keep for himself, a punch he'll share with Barbara, and a extra move he'll share with Batman. Alright, I forgot to shuffle the initiative cards, so we'll be back at the draw for it. Alright, extra symbols added for the shared abilities. Let's see who's going first this time. Man-Bat. And then we're going straight to Robin, who is adjacent to a hired gun. Okay, he will spend a fist of his own and a double fist provided to him from Batgirl for a total of 4, with doubles counting as triples because of the trained by Batman skill I got him. So that would be 3, 4, 5, reduced back down to 3, good enough, he's out of there. Perfect. That leaves him with a movement and 2 extra defense. He'll spend the movement, I guess, just to get closer, because why not? 1, 2, and he'll just end his turn right there. Next on the list, the Batman. Well, he's adjacent to the last Enforcer on the table with 1 health, 1 damage, he has 4 health left. He's going to smack him real good. He'll spend 2 doubles. So that's 4 dice from there, plus his base of 2. He's rolling 6. Damage minus 2. Not a good roll. He'll spend focus to reroll those blocks. There. So he did 3 damage. With the 1 he has, that brings him to 4. But he's still conscious, unfortunately. And I don't think you're allowed to search the question mark when there's an enemy adjacent. You know, I'm just going to do it though, because otherwise we'll have to waste a turn doing it. He'll spend a move action to remove this, and he finds the keys, so now we're able to open this door over here. I don't know if you have to roll something at the door, we'll check that when the time comes, but now we can get to Man-Bat. And that's his turn. He's also banking 2 extra defense this turn. Batgirl's next. Game speeds up when there's less henchmen on the board. She's also adjacent to that thug that now has 1 health left. She shall punch him. She shall go heavy on the punches by spending 3, bringing her total to 4. Damage minus 2. She got him. So there's only 1 hired gun left, which hopefully Nightwing can handle. Actually, she's got a ranged attack. How far away is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's too far away. She'll move then. 1, 2. Get rid of these damage thingies. And she'll chuck a batarang at him for a total of 3 because she's spending a double symbol. Damage minus 2. She got him for 3. He's actually down. They only have 3 health. So we're now enemy-less, except for Man-Bat. So I'll just take the other cards out of the initiative deck once we draw them. Speaking of which, so we'll just put that to one side. That stays in because Man-Bat gets 2 turns. Nightwing goes. So Nightwing is right next to the door basically. He'll spend a foot to walk up to it, and then I'll have to quickly check the rules for the scenario. Here we go. Closed doors. A hero may open an adjacent closed door by performing a focus check against the door's difficulty. So Nightwing's focus stat is 3. I think he has to check. He has to spend. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this live. We'll check. It says page 44. 44 in the rulebook to see how to do a focus check. The character must roll battle dice equal to their focus or skill attribute, so that's 3, and try and beat the number, which was 4, I think. What difficulty is the door? 3. He did not do it. Am I allowed to spend another die to do it again? Because I've got 2 unused dice. I'm going to say I can. Okay. Nightwing's struggling getting the key into the hole. There we go. The door is open, and now that also means that Man-Bat can see us. But I think both his cards for the turn have been drawn, right? So who's the last card? Oh, the Enforcers. Okay, yeah, so the turn is over then. So we'll open up the next turn, we'll still roll the dice and whatnot, but then we'll go over what Man-Bat does, because his mechanics are a little weird. So what is this? Top of turn 4, I think? Turn 4, turn 5, let's do dice before anything else. Batman's dice. We want lots of ranged dice, for reasons I shall go into, so we'll keep Batman with his melee attack. He did get a wild card, so let's see if he heals any. He heals both the damage, and he gets a focus point back. And we're going to change that to double range that he's going to share with Nightwing. Nightwing's dice. 2 wild cards and a move. He'll keep the move for himself. He does have damage, so let's just roll 2 dice simultaneously. He healed the damage he had on him. And he's already at max focus, so he can't get any more. And he's sharing a double ranged on either side of him. Again, for reasons we'll cover in a second. You need lots of ranged for Man-Bat. Batgirl's got a single ranged, which she'll share with Robin. A move she'll share with Nightwing, and a block she'll keep for herself. And then Robin, a wild card, perfect. He'll keep the move for himself. He'll share the ranged with Batman. The wild card, oh, he has damage on him. He healed 1 and gave himself 1 focus back. And the wild card is going to change to a double. Oh wait, does he have a double on his dice? Oh, he doesn't. He only has a single. Well, the single ranged he'll share with Barbara then. So we quickly look at Man-Bat's card. He likes going after the person with the most HP to punch. He has 18 health, 4 defense. He hits for 3, he moves 2. Man-Bat has 2 cards in the initiative deck. Does not share line of sight with other villains. When Man-Bat's life is above 8, so until we do 10 damage to him, he's counted as being elevated, which means he's flying. Which means even if you're standing in the square next to the square he's in, he still counts as being 2 away, so you can't close combat him until he's got 8 or less health. At the end of his turn, every enemy figure that suffered a wound from Man-Bat moves directly away from him in a straight line for the number of wounds received. I assume that's to try and make you fall to your death, because this area is, the purple border is fall to your death territory, which I just realised you can't fully see because I've been pointing at the board, and the board is up there. So that's what it is. Man-Bat is floating. He is in the sky until he has 8 or less HP, and the first initiative card drawn is Robin. Alright, extra icons have been given out. My voice is getting a little bit croaky. Apologies if I've got a cold, I think. So Tim only has 1 movement action he can do. He moves 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. And that puts him on the door, but Man-Bat is, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because he's elevated away, so that is not good enough. So unfortunately, unless Man-Bat gets it, well, there's no way to like reactivate him. Tim's just going to waste his turn, unfortunately. We need Man-Bat to come closer. Hopefully he draws his card now. Nope. Does Batman have a lot of movement? Batman has no movement, so he also can't do anything this turn, unfortunately, with what was rolled. So Man-Bat turn. Ugh. Can Batgirl move? She can. She can move 4. Alright, hang on, okay, she can do something. She'll move 4. Come back around this side of the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll step on out there. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just reading. Let's see. He counts on elevated train. Yes, I think you do add on 2. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 away. So that would mean her total number of attacks would come down by 4. But she is rolling a lot of dice, and otherwise she's doing nothing. So why not? It actually doesn't come down by 4. It comes down by 8 because he's defense 4. Ugh. She would be rolling 3, 4, 5 dice, 5 dice minus 8. She's got nothing else she can do. She might as well give it a go. So 5 dice, because it's 1 for her base. She's spending a double and a single. Yeah. So this minus 8. She actually did not too bad. 2, 4, 6, 7. She'll spend a focus and re-roll the single hits and hope for a double. No, it was worse. Okay, she did nothing. She tried, at least. This is a bit of a waste of a turn, because Man-Bat's activating too late in the turn. Speaking of which, there's the man himself. So he moves 2 and he wants to attack the person with the highest HP. So, Flutter, first action, still can't. Villains get 3 actions, normal henchmen only get 2. So then he'd go 1, 2, 3 to avoid doing the double move. And then he has another action. Who has the most HP right now? It is Batman. Can he get to Batman though? He has one more action this turn, so that would be... He actually couldn't move, because that would be a -2. So you'd have to have 3 to walk away. So I'm not 100% sure, but I guess he's just going to hit the person he can reach that has the most HP. So in this case it would be Barbara. So he does a base 3 damage, and she currently has boosted defense up to 4. 3 damage comes down to 1 damage. And she gets pushed away 1 at the end of the turn. At the end of his turn, which is now. Although he has another turn coming. She got pushed away from him 1. And then Nightwing. He is the only one who could potentially do a lot of damage. Okay, well he has movement, so he's going to spend 1 of them to move adjacent, so that means Man-Bat is counting as 2 away from him, so optimal distance for range. Let's do Throwing Blade, because he hasn't used his yet, for +1, and he's gonna. This is going to be a big hit. So let's see, his base for doing an attack is 1 die. He's spending a double ranged for 2 more. He's spending another double ranged for 2 more. He's spending a third double ranged for 2 more, and Throwing Blade adds 1 and doesn't weaken for the first 4 spaces, although he's fine where he is. So all of these dice -4. Okay, this is pretty good. We're going to keep the doubles for sure. And let's see here. That is... He'd be doing 5 damage to him. Honestly, I don't think that's worth the reroll. He might as well reroll the block. He'll spend a focus to reroll the block. Okay. So it's all this damage -4. Man-Bat took 6 damage. Finally, someone who can hit. All it took was a ridiculous number of dice. 6 damage to Man-Bat, and then Man-Bat gets his other turn. Yep. But you can't really get past them, so I guess I'll just attack Nightwing, because Nightwing has the most HP. We'll attack him twice for 3 damage. Nightwing is blocking with 3. So that's 3 damage. And that's 2 damage. Nightwing took 5. As good as he got almost. So that's 5 damage to him. That's nasty. And he gets pushed back. I guess the table would stop him. Because there's 1 space for every damage, right? Yeah. I'm going to say the table stops him, although I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. And that takes us to the end of the round. Got some important rolls here to make, both for healing and for wanting ranged dice, of which Batman got none. He'll shared blocks, because I think that's going to be important as well. But if he wants to do anything this turn, he needs to get ranged attacks from other people. This is important for Nightwing as well. He needs heals. He didn't get any. Not good. I guess he'll share blocks as well. We're going to have a defensive turn, because we can't hit him with close combat until he takes 2 more damage, or 4 more. Okay, Barbara gets a wild card. She can heal a little bit. She heals 1 and gains back 1 focus. She'll obviously turn that into a... She got a double ranged. Oh, she's just got a single. I guess she'll share the single with Robin, because he's got that bonus to range attacks. Not good dice for the turn, honestly. And Robin's got a single, which he'll share with Barbara. No, he'll share with Batman. It's the best chance of doing damage. Alright, that's how it's looking. I'll draw the first initiative card, and then move the camera up in a second. It'll be Man-Bat going first, hooray! So as we begin, I forgot again that villains have 3 actions, so Nightwing should have got hit 2 more times. I guess we can quickly roll 3 defense dice. I mean, I think I did it twice, but I didn't do it 3 times, so that's 2 more damage on Nightwing. So he's up to 7 of his 12. Man-Bat wants to hit the person with the most HP, so first action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because he wants to go after Batman, because Batman is the healthiest by far, because he's got full health. But that means he used his 3 actions and won't attack. But he has another card, which might draw right now, so let's see. Tim Drake. Okay. Well, he can throw from where he is because of his practice makes perfect. So he'll just do a ranged attack, but it's only 3 dice. He would need to roll at least 2 doubles for this to do anything. That's 3, gets reduced by 4, nothing. He'll spend a focus and try and re-roll it. Why not? Better, but not good enough. Because that gets reduced down to 0 because of Man-Bat's 4 defense. Next is Man-Bat's other turn, fair enough. So 1, 2, and then he's going to attack Batman twice for a total of 6 damage across 2 attacks. Batman's defense though is currently 3, 4, 5. He's rolling 6 defense dice because of the buffs he's getting from his team. So first attack for 3 damage, still does 2. Second attack. Oh no, that went all the way through. Can you use focus to reroll defense? I'm going to assume you can, and he's going to spend focus and give that another go. It would have been a really good attack roll. Alright, there we go. He fully blocked the second attack. Alright, now who am I getting to go with? Because it's just my people left now. The Batman. Okay, give me a chance to think about this. Well, unfortunately, due to the dice rolled, there's not really much Batman can do. He can roll 3 dice for a ranged attack, which he's gonna. Again, he needs at least 2 doubles for us to do anything. Alright, it did 1. Alright, I'll take it. That's fine. 1 damage. Not worth the reroll. And I guess, can anyone else even do anything? Batgirl, potentially. Nightwing drew next. He has no ranged actions, so he's doing nothing. He also has no movement, so he can't do anything. And then Batgirl last. She can move, so she will. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she'll do a... Oh, she would only do a 2 dice. She can't. It wouldn't hurt him. Yeah, that's going to be end of round. Alright, let's see what dice we get this turn and if any heals happen. Oh, that's not good. Share defense again at least. Batman's buffing his team defensively. I feel like if you're standing on the table you should not be able to, or you should count as being elevated. Alright, Nightwing can share double with Batman. Oh, you can heal, which is actually important because Dick is hurting now. He healed 1 and got 1 insight back. Back to focus, sorry. Back up. So he'll share that way, and he's going to share a double the other way as well with that wild card. And Barbara, a single range. She's going to share that towards Nightwing, so Nightwing can do a good attack. So she's not going to be doing much this turn. And Robin, also not doing much. I guess he'll share that range to Barbara, buff his defense and buff Batman's defense. What can you do? Alright, let's draw the first initiative card. It is the Batman. That could be important. Alright, before we carry on, I decided to change around Tim's left and right dice so he's sharing the range with Batman, not Batgirl, because Batgirl is not going to be able to do any damage. But, because of the dice that Nightwing is sharing to Batman, he can initiate a ranged attack and potentially do damage. Because he has his 2 base attack, he's spending a double and a single for 3 more. So that is 5 dice with damage minus 4. So right now he's currently doing nothing, but he'll spend focus on that reroll. He has 1 focus left. He did 1 damage. But 6, 7, not good enough. I thought that was enough to knock him out of the sky, but it's when he has 8 or less health. He has to take 10, and that is him up to 8. Well, Batman is done. Let's just draw the next card, see if it's someone I go with or not, as I get a text message. It's going to be Tim Drake Robin, but let me go check that text message. So for you this will be instant, but for me it's been like 10-15 minutes since I paused, as a family member stopped by unexpectedly. But that did give me a chance to notice something I've been forgetting, which isn't super big. I don't think it's made any difference to what's happened so far. But along with the skills of bot characters, they have rules of their own that I've been ignoring. So Tim, for instance, doesn't need to spend extra movement to move away. He breaks away for free because he's small and wily. Batgirl, Barbara, she gets one focus back automatically. So I'm giving her just an additional one to make up for me forgetting. And she's allowed to rerolled dice as long as she's willing to spend another focus. Batman is allowed to change any one action die to anything he wants at the top of his turn, so he would have had a couple of extra dice against Man-Bat, because I would have made one of the defense ones a double. So I'm rolling 2 extra dice, and the extra damage is done to Man-Bat, because I think we're going to lose this if he doesn't fall down so I can start punching him. So he did 3 extra damage with that ranged attack from before, which potentially could have been rerolled as well. So that is 9, 10, 11. Man-Bat is on the ground now. Oh yeah, and for the record, Nightwing, if he has 2 or more adjacent enemies, he gets +1 die on attack and defense. So that would have made a difference, I think. But yeah, the biggest one was being Batman can change 1 die per turn to whatever he likes. So I'm saying he had 2 extra dice, and we know it got through his defense because he did do damage. So yeah, is there any other thing he does? Roll the remaining dice as normal. The only stipulation is if you do manually change a dice, it has to be your central dice, so you can't share it. That's fine. So it was Tim's turn, and now Man-Bat is on the floor. He still has defense 4 though, so he can't actually hurt him with the dice he has. So we're skipping Tim's turn anyway after all that. He's doing nothing, because he can't move either. And we'll go straight to Man-Bat's turn. And he wants to attack the person with the most HP, which is still Batman. So he is doing 3 damage twice against 4 defense. First one fully blocked. Wow. Second one, 2 damage. So we'll just flip a 1 over to a 3. Batman's got 4 damage. Oh, and this time I remembered he attacks 3 times if he's adjacent. So third attack does 1 more. That's Man-Bat's turn done. Nightwing, he has got a massive ranged attack planned, but that's a problem now because Man-Bat is on the ground. So he'll spend his move to go 1, 2, because of the breakaway. And then he'll do a massive range attack. So, 1 base, spending a single, spending a double, spending another double. And he'll throw in the Batarang to do stun, so that Man-Bat loses an action. Will I remember that? Who knows? Damage -4. So -4. I think we're going to do a full... Let's have the 4 damage that we're losing and re-roll. We'll just re-roll the 1. Hope that it becomes a double. It doesn't. So he did 2 damage. So that's him up to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of 18. So he's 5 health left. And we have 2 turns to get him. We can't really do much else this turn, unfortunately. Man-Bat's other turn. Barbara can't do anything with her turn, so we'll just skip it and do Man-Bat's. He loses 1 action to the stun, so he's got 2 attacks against Batman. Or is it against Batman? He's got 8 health. Yeah, it is still him. No, it's against Tim. So 1, 2, 3, and then he can't reach him without doing it again. So he's moving after Tim, but he can't attack him this turn. I'll keep his damage pile here. But yeah, we're going into the penultimate turn. Alright, second last turn, let's try and do this right. I'm going to force Batman to have a double punch as his central die. He gets a double range in the defense, that's fine. We can still make ranged work. Nightwing. Okay, he's got a variable. Does he heal anything? Nope. Gets 1 focus back though. He'll take a double on his right, a double on his left, double ranged that is, and a shield in his middle for an extra defense. Barbara, she'll put the ranged on her left so Nightwing gets it, punches on the right, shield in the middle. And Tim, wow, okay, he could maybe heal. He does. He gets back 2 insight. Oh, he only has 2 max, never mind. He'll share a range to his right. He'll take a double fist and a double fist, because he could actually knock Man-Bat out if he goes early enough. So let's see who is going first. Nightwing. Alright, Nightwing, let's see what we can do. He is 2 squares away, 1, 2. We're doing a massive melee strike, range strike. 1 base, spending a 1 point for 1 additional, spending a double for 2 additional, spending 2 more doubles for 4 additionals. So it's this minus 4. Okay, well we're keeping the double. Let's keep all of those and let's re-roll these 3. Spending a focus. Good enough. That might actually be enough. So we lose the 4 to his block. 2, 4, 6. I believe that is Man-Bat down with that 6 extra damage. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The Man-Bat has toppled and almost took Barbara with him. Let's see. Victory. With Man-Bat restrained in the data from the gathered clues, Batman is able to create a cure for Dr. Langstrom, ending his Man-Bat nightmare. So that is roughly how a game of Shadow of the Bat plays. Obviously I did totally forget there are written skills on the card. The one thing I didn't cover during setup. I just covered the ones I bought for them. Probably forgot some rules for movement at some point. It's very easy to overlook, a little bit overly complicated, but still, we mostly did it right. That's what the setup was like at the start, and we have done it. And that was the tutorial mission, so it shouldn't have been too hard in theory. Hopefully we did everything more or less correct. Episode 2 in the book, the other tutorial mission, is called The Cat and the Claw. It's based on the Catwoman episode of the show. And I think it's three spaces wide. It is, which is actually going to be quite awkward to fit in, because you need a lot of table space for all the cards for your team of 4. But we can make it work, so yeah, do let me know if you want to see more. And if you do, I'll probably do the other tutorial mission just using unpainted miniatures, and then we'll have a little bit of a delay after that and come back with it fully painted if people want to see more. If you did spot anything important incorrect, forgetting an odd die here or there, or 1 movement space here or there, that doesn't matter much. But if you spotted anything crucial, by all means point it out. And yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching, and potentially see you for more in the future. If you don't want to watch more of this, there is of course the Batman Miniature Game by Night models that I cover once a week. Until next time, it's ta for now.